Hello, everyone. I'm here today with Dan from Premier Care to talk about their rollout of early pay and the experience so far. Hopefully, this will give you a sense of what early pay is all about, and also some feedback from a customer. Okay. So I've got Sam Middleton over here with me, who's a early pay customer success manager, and Dan from Premier Care. Okay, so thank you for offering to record this session, Dan. Do you want to just start with just telling the viewers something about Premier Care, your business, what you guys do, and yourself?
Yep. So I'm Dan Esterling. I'm the managing director at Premier Care, as you mentioned. We're a medium-sized home care company with around 350 home carers in the community. We've been operating for around sort of 20 years, since 1996, so quite established. And we operate in the East Midlands area in Derbyshire mainly. And we have the same challenges as everybody else in the home care market, and we've had a really interesting year. And we kind of came across early pay at the start of the year before everything sort of kicked off with the pandemic. And that's where we're at the moment.
Right. Okay. And how's the pandemic affected you and your business, especially around recruitment, retention? Are you seeing any differences on that side?
Yeah, it was early days. We were sort of planning out how it might affect us, and wondering whether it would be something for the worse, whether people wouldn't want to sort of take up home care,
Right.
Especially around March time with the dangers that were being advertised and things like that. But we found actually a lot of people sort of flock into it, and a lot of people embracing the challenge and joining us. It might be different for different people, but we had a lot of good systems with Access yourself, and a lot of our recruitment pipeline was virtual, so we was able to kind of adapt quite quickly. And I think early pay as well was sort of set up probably just at that right time for us. I mean, some of the benefits me and Sam spoke about were there, but it actually, I think, kind of kicked in just at the start of when it all was happening, the pandemic, and a few other things we think might have helped us even more early days in that pandemic in terms of access to pay and things like that. I'm sort of digressing off the point there, but I just think it was good timing for us. Really.
Right. Okay. So let's come to that. So you are, I mean, as you know, early pay has been it's a new product for Access Group.
Yeah.
And you are relatively one of the newer customers to adopt it. So do you want to just give a sense of when you first about early pay, what made you decide to roll out this product to your employees?
Yeah. So I became interested in early pay as a pure benefit to our staff, and every good care company will be looking at ways to improve their care retention and job satisfaction for the staff. It's a natural, I think, evolution of your own service that you're always looking towards your carers. And our main thoughts were around what flexibility it bring in terms of pay. I mean, one of our challenges was our pay system was 2 weeks in arrears, so a lot of our carers were, especially new starters, waiting a long time to receive their first pay.
Yeah.
So we just thought, that ticks quite a big box if they can join us, even do their training week and then draw down some of the funds instantly.
Yeah.
But as in the early days, it became clear that actually it massively helps other areas of the business, like supporting the cover of rotas, and allowing the carer to receive obviously instant funds from picking up a shift. And not having to wait 4 weeks. So if somebody wants to cover, for instance, a weekend, it's kind of like, well, you can take that shift on, and then by the end of it, you can draw down sort of 50% of the funds on it. It definitely helps the on-call teams. So there was quite a few.
It's trying to fill up those hard to fill shifts, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So there was there's the one benefit we thought, which was obviously our kind of rigid sort of pay beforehand, but then it became quite clear that there was other advantages to it, and yeah, it kind of evolved for us.
Okay. And what about advances? Did you offer advances to your employees?
Yeah, we did offer advances, but the system side of it, I mean, we've grown quite quick over the last few years. So when we were a smaller team, it was easy to say, yeah, if you need advance, just email finance, and that kind of was ongoing in the background. But again, since we've introduced this, that process is over now. So it all runs officially through that app, and
yeah. So you saw all the ad hoc,
yeah,
sticky tape and post-it notes kind of processes they
yeah,
have.
exactly. And I guess over the years, I'm assuming we've probably made a few errors on that, where we've advanced and not, taken back. So
that,
yeah. So that's definitely reduced that possibility.
That's wonderful. And what was the process like for you in terms of rolling out EarlyPay? How difficult was it for you and your organization?
I was expecting it to be more difficult,
Right.
and it was. I'd say it was easy, really. I mean, I wrote down on some of the challenges early days that we'd face, and I think it was the integration was one of them. Was sort of worried about the security of money as well, and how it'd work, and cash flow as well, and the cost of it.
Yeah.
But again, Sam early days explained how each of those problems would, you'd be able to solve them, and yeah, and then the integration was pretty much just. I think we sped it up actually. I think we was like looking at a longer integration period, but we were saying like, no, we're happy with this stage, and we kind of got things done in a couple of weeks, I think, rather than what might have been a couple of months. And Sam was able to go at the pace we wanted to go at. So yeah, I know other providers might want to go a bit slower, but I'm sure Access would adapt to that as well.
That's good to hear. In terms of the reception from employees, I mean, you've been up and running for like 3 months, is my understanding. How have the employees reacted to the service?
Yeah, I think it's probably about 6 months now. Actually, I think so. It's,
Okay.
So yeah, from the rollout, that was easy. So we pushed out the app to all the. We've got work devices, so that was easy for us. So we pushed out the app, and it would appear on everyone's work device.
Sure.
Obviously, you could get that from the App Store as well, and sent out the communication, and instantly, I think we had a really good take up. I think around 50% of the staff started logging in and using the app straight away. So I think sort of the proofs in the pudding there that people were interacting with the app, and then ongoing, it's increased. I think the amount that, well, it has increased the amount that people have drawn down on funds each 4 weeks. So yeah, and then in the pandemic, again, we noticed a lot more usage of it, where people, because obviously early days, and it's a while back now, but in March there was queues for shops, so people weren't able to just organise when they go shopping. They needed to get their funds and get the take the opportunity to get things in as soon as they could. So again, it was just that kind of proves its flexibility. It's your pay, you've earned it, you can get it straight away. So that was a really good feeling for us as well, that people could.
No, in fact, we saw in that month of March, in the second week when the lockdown started happening, we saw a dramatic increase in usage of EarlyPay, which corresponds to your story. Absolutely. And in terms of your back-end payroll processes, how difficult has it been for you in terms of reconciling the pay and all of that? Has it added extra overheads for you or not?
No extra overheads. I know there was an option there was obviously a fee for the carers, there's an option to take that on, and we've considered that. In fact, I think one of our benefits in the COVID period was that we covered the fee for the carers.
Interesting. Very nice.
Just as a way to make sure they could get to, as we were saying, to the funds quicker. But yeah, it just took a bit of planning out. Obviously, People Planner handles a lot of our our payroll, and the ad hoc deduction was already in there. So we just had to make sure from our export or import into Sage was set up correctly. And it's one of those things where you might spend a couple of hours with your payroll, and once it's done, then it's systemized and it works smoothly. So
it's the initial setup, isn't
yeah,
it? Once you do that, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and have you seen any? I guess we are in a different world with COVID. The whole recruitment retention bit has changed.
yeah,
But have you seen any impact on churn rates into a business? Have you seen some benefits
yeah.
in that area?
Yeah, so like you say, it's difficult to analyze that data at the moment, and I'd say retention for us as a whole has improved, and we've noticed it's been easier to cover shifts, and we definitely think it's a big factor in that challenge, the early pay coming along. We do think other things have helped, so it's hard to like for like kind of to compare it, but I would say, yeah, I think it's been a big help in that challenge.
And the last bit is really, if I mean, we've got tremendous interest in early pay. We are adding a lot of new organizations to the platform, especially in the care sector. I mean, what would be your advice to other care providers who are considering early pay?
Yeah, I'd say put it to your staff, speak to your staff, and ask them what they think. And like I said right back at the beginning, they should guide your service. So, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a positive response. And if that's the case, because you're running Access, if you're running Access People Planner, then it's not a lengthy process to get that up and running for your staff. And it could be, I know we used it before COVID, but it could be a benefit that you roll out because of how everyone's worked for you in COVID and the extra work they've done and all the stops that they pulled out. So yeah, I'd just say to anyone, put it to your staff, speak to the team, and then then you guys will help out with the rest, I think.
Perfect. I mean, that was brilliant. Thank you, Dan, for your feedback. I'm sure a lot of people find it very, very useful.